Hi guys, Cynthia here, and today we are starting the fencing process. So these are these little plastic things. They were $4 a piece. Kind of pricey, but then I realized that I had them in for like 2 days. I kept the tags because I wasn't sure. These are the Vigoro ones, and I didn't really like it. The uh, groundhog was still getting into the garden bed and all this stuff, and so I found. Let me show you. I found these. So these are metal and I just placed them. Now this is an investment. Now I am putting up a fence and that will help for sure. But they are, ground dwellers. So if he wanted to come and dig in up from any point in my garden, aside from my beds, because I did put hardware cloth underneath all of my beds. I knew better enough to do that. But at any other point in my garden, he can decide that he wants to, come and dig up and get right into my garden. So when I had the other little plastics ones that I just showed you, it actually helped. It made it so that he wasn't, eating them all up. These also help. So these are eggplant and pepper trellises from Gardener Supply. I'll go ahead and link those. So the fact that they have like just a protection, right? So like the deer, when they come in, they can't they're not gonna, you know what I mean? This stops them, and the cage here stops them. But this here, I wanted just something a little bit more to just help me out. I don't know how it's going to do. They seem very sturdy. They're made of metal. They're taller than the other ones. And I think this is how I'm going to have to garden from now on. Like I said, these guys, if they want it in the garden, they're going to get in the garden. So let me show you what this is. I, of course, did not buy enough because I wasn't sure if this is what I was going to do. I got these from Lowe's. These are the No Dig Animal Barrier. So you get a pack of 7. I believe they're 24 or something. And I think what I'm going to do is, even when I put up the other fence, I might put this along the edge of the fence so that if something, tries to burrow in, they're going to meet that. You know what I mean? So I actually like what these look like. They're a little bit more simplistic. They match everything. I'm not going to go ahead and cage back here like today because I need to buy more. I only bought 4 packs of these, knowing that was not going to be enough. I just wasn't sure if this was something that was going to be a thing, But I really like what it looks like, and they're really sturdy, which I really like. So I'm going to go ahead and start the process. I only used one set of 7 for here, and all I need now is 1, 2, I need 3 more for that bed. So that's not too bad. It's not great. I mean, but for me, I spend lots of time and energy on this garden, and because it's not so close to my house, and because we have active, groundhogs, they're everywhere. And I thought about having the ones by my house removed because they have upset me so much. But then I realized that 2 houses down, there's an entire other family of groundhogs, and they're going to come here. And there's literally one looking at me right now. He's over there. So annoying. Anyway, they're going to come here because there's food. They're going to come here if I had flowers. If this was just a cut flower garden, they're going to come here. They have eaten a lot of my flowers down in the garden. They do that. I mean, it's just part of it. And I think that once, all the fencing is up and everything, I also put repels all. That didn't help. It's like there's no winning. There is absolutely no winning. And I think it's strange because he won't eat these marigolds, but he ate this marigold to shreds. I'm at a loss. I don't really know how to make it work, but this is for sure going to help. I'm just putting it along the edge of the bed. But I really like these. I think they're really nice. They don't look so cluttered. Just realized I never even told you what the stats are on this. So they're 13 inches high in total. That's including however many inches you want to put them into the ground. So just be aware of that. They're 17 inches all the way across. So like for a 6x2, it's a slight bit too small. Like what I mean is I need 4 on either side and 1 here, and there's about maybe a 2 or 1 inch gap between the front and the sides, which I'll show you here in a minute. But I just wanted to talk to you about, all the things. According to the sign, it says no cats, no dogs, no bunny. What about no groundhog? On top of doing granules of Repelzol, spraying Repelzol, doing all of the things that, quite frankly, does not help, because I douse all of the sides of my beds in the Repelzol. You don't want to put it on your plants, especially if you're going to eat them, unless they're flowers, whatever you want to do. But I literally sprayed the wood. And I sprayed the rocks, and they still came into this area of the garden. I found these things on Amazon, and I think I'm gonna try them. It's like you put them in the ground and they're solar powered and they make this like noise, and I think I'm going to do that to keep them from digging into the garden. I don't know if that's gonna be helpful. I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't really know, because so far these guys are indestructible. So I don't know. Okay, but let me show you here what I mean by, you can see that there is some gap here. I'll show you in a sec. But I was going to put them inside of the marigolds because I think it looked much better that way. But I'm not going to do that anymore because they're just eating the marigolds down. And so I'm just going to they're still going to eat them. They're still going to eat the marigolds, but majority of the marigolds will still be in bloom and pretty within the metal gate. So this watering system I have, it is awesome. I hook up my hose to it and I water, and I can walk away, and I just keep it kind of running for 20 minutes and then I shut it off. So this is exactly what I mean of the gap that you'll see. It's about a 2-inch gap because this is not as tall. Now, eventually, if I decide to spend a little bit more money, maybe I'll double it up. Maybe next year I will save to, kind of double it up. But I want to buy these for, like I told you, around the fence when I put it in, like along the bottom, because I can literally like hammer that all the way in and it'll be a good couple of inches in the ground, so if they try to dig, they can't get to it. I have 4 more left, and I still need to buy a few more, because once I move all of this stuff, which I'm going to do once the fence is up, then I'll finish off this little area here. Let's go ahead and do the 2 beds in the back. You guys, it's just all I can do to just preserve my garden. I don't remember it being so bad last year. I do remember him eating my stuff. I really do. But it wasn't that bad. Like, I was able to have some. But like this year, it just feels like it just feels like there's no winning, and I haven't even begun the process. Like, guys, I started tomatillos. They ate the tomatillos down. I bought tomatillos from the big box store. They ate those down. I bought another set. They ate most of it down. So let's keep going.
So prior to starting with the yardling fence, I decided to put the berry cover up. I got this from Amazon, and I'll definitely link it. It is affordable and decently sturdy. It's not like my favorite looking thing, but I would rather have something like this than the animals eat all of my fruits. But it was simple to put it together like one person, and I don't know, it wasn't that bad at all. You can see here. The only difficult part that I had was that because it was too big for the bed, it didn't look great. So that's why I think I'm going to build a bigger berry bed. I think it'll look nicer. Plus, it'll give the berries some space to grow tall. And yeah, I mean, it was super simple.
Guys, we are halfway to the fence process. I thought about filming it, but it's really hot today. Mark doesn't really like to be on camera, so I don't really want to do that. the fence is pretty self-explanatory. Let me show you what the piece of paper tells you what to do. It literally is exactly that. So you have to just put that T-post in, use a piece of wood to kind of flank it in, and then you use a stake to put two pieces together. It's extremely simple. The only situation is you need more than one person because they're kind of heavy. And you need to make sure you measure, and you need to make sure that you're hammering them evenly into the ground or they're not going to work out. The reason why you see the fence kind of leaning forward is because it's not on a stake. Once this is staked up, it will, not lean so bad. Let me tell you what the plan is. We're going to go one more set of fence. So it's going to go right to that jut out, and then we're going to put two pieces of fence this way. Behind the fence, I bought T-posts and like a green chicken wire that I'm going to put all along the forsythia, because I'm not going to put nice expensive fence along a forsythia. That just seems kind of silly to me. I also bought these things that you dig into the ground. They're actually what I just put on my garden bed. Let me show you. Let's go this way. It looks so nice. So they are these things. These I got from Lowe's, but I found more on Amazon, and I'm gonna probably return these and buy more from Amazon because they're much cheaper and a little bit taller. So these are actually no dig, and you push them all the way in. And they basically, the ones I got from Amazon, you put them in the ground and they essentially stop them from digging. They say in order to stop a groundhog from digging anything, or a rabbit or anything, you need to go about 6 inches deep. The ones that I bought are gonna go about 8 inches deep, and I'm going to line the entire, all the way around the perimeter of the entire garden space. The front, the back, the sides, everything, because of the groundhog that lives over there. So this has been an experience, right? So I don't recommend doing it on a hot day. We literally are doing it on the hottest day of the year. You have to have a game plan. Things are going good. Once we got past the first two, we were good to go. Like, we were in a groove, you know what I mean? So yeah, obviously these are only 4.5 feet high, I believe. And so it's not a deer fence, right? The deer are going to hit it and be like, oh no, right? They very well could jump over it. Now, I don't think that my deer will do that, just because I have a lot of obstructions here, and they pay attention to that kind of stuff. They're not just gonna like hop over a fence and like get injured. They're silly, but they're not that silly, you know what I mean? So I don't think they're gonna jump in here. I also thought about putting like a really tall black pole where every pole is just a little bit taller, so that it kind of stops them from doing that. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take my chances. If a deer wants to get caught up in here and jump in, then that's their prerogative. My only concern is more stopping them and keeping the groundhog gone. So here there's a gate that has a latch, which is really nice. We measured it. We hope it's going to look okay. I have a plan for a different type of like garden idea. I am going to take some of that serendipity allium and place it all around the edge of this entire garden. I am going to go ahead and bring this garden out, if that makes any sense, so that there's no grass in here, because we're not going to be able to mow at all. So this will all be garden, and probably up to here with garden, so that it'll be easy for Mark to mow and edge and all that other stuff. I also thought about putting like thin, like I can do containers, really nice containers, like black ones, and garden in containers all the way around. Or I can do like the container that I just put the rose in, that is kind of a rectangle. Or I can get like a Vigo beds, you know what I mean? Like, I can figure something out, but I'm thinking about doing something like that to help, and then I can do the garlic and I can do the onions that way. I do have a plan to make my berry bed a little bit bigger. I know it's very silly, but I'm not opposed to changing things around. I want to make the berry bed about the size of the cage that's around it. You see how the cage sits on the floor? I want the cage to sit in it because the berries are going to get taller, and I want them to have that space to grow. I'm also going to go ahead and move the berry bed forward after the season is over. I'm going to build a bigger berry bed, put it kind of where that barrel is. Sorry, put it where that barrel is, move the barrel, and then get rid of this onion bed all together, I think. Yeah, I think. I'm not sure. I definitely need to move the berry bed because of Cynthia's encroaching, and it wasn't a good plan. I didn't think anything through. I mean, a lot of us don't. So it is what it is. All right, I will be back when we continue or when this is over. I'm not going to film the process. It just isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. It's too hot and people are grumpy. So, but I'm really happy with how everything looks. I have to go ahead and get all of my stakes put in to the garden. My peppers are starting to, you can see, grow too big. But yeah, everything's looking really great. I'm really happy. This is bringing me an immense amount of joy. But imagine, I thought about doing lavender, but lavender get really woody and large, and so do alliums, but you can kind of like, they're kind of thin. So I can literally plant the allium in between the fence and it'll kind of like sprawl out, which I think will look really pretty. And that's the plan. And I thought onions, people don't like that, or animals don't like that. But yeah, this is the progress, and I will show you a little bit later. All right, guys, I am back. Or I don't know, did I do an intro? If not, hi, my name is Cynthia, and today, we're going to continue to put the fence on or make my garden more animal proof. You can see that the fence is almost all the way around. I'm going to go in and show you everything and tell you the plans and continue with adding the other miniature fences on the bed. So here's the fence. I kind of want to show you all of it. There's also a lot of changes. I'm sure you can see that there's a lot of debris. I moved some daffodils that were kind of in the middle of the bed here to the back. You can see that there's exposed soil. I moved a lot of alliums to other parts of the garden. This whole garden is getting an overhaul. I'm moving all of the perennials that you see, but I'm going to go on a vacation. And so I'm going to wait to move it because I'm concerned about the heat. I don't want any of my plants to die because I moved them, but all of that is being moved. But we're focused on this beautiful fence. This is a yard link fence. Let me show you the tag when we get to the other side. I threw it all the way into the forsythia. And I know you're thinking, hey, Cynthia, animals can crawl underneath, and they do. And they come into through the forsythia. They absolutely do. So let me show you what I'm doing. But first, oh, you can see all of the alliums that I dug up. I'm going to plant them in the way back garden. Anyway, so long story short, what I'm going to do for the back. So here is how you open the gate. It's really cute. I want to tell you guys, I am going to extend the garden. You can see that there's grass here, and that is unacceptable. That's not going to happen because we're not going to be able to mow it or anything like that. So now the garden is going to be extended just outside of the fence here. So we're going to go ahead and do that, including the rock. I'm going to go ahead and buy another stone here, about a few more bags of pea gravel, and I found a stone yard, or not a stone yard, but where I go and get these stones. They have beautiful blue-gray pea gravel that looks exactly like the circle stones. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to extend that just out like that, if you can see what I mean, just out behind or past the fence. This is a yard link fence. It is a 4x4. It is a no dig. It was very stressful, as you saw earlier in the video. And these here is what we're going to be putting up. Early in the video, I put up a different brand. The brand that I put up, oh, this is perfect. This is a side-by-side. This is from the Lowe's company, and that was about for 7 of them was $25, which was wild. For 25 of these, which are taller and better suited for the garden, was $40. So that to me, I said, that's a no brainer. Anyway, this has been so helpful because I have groundhogs. Groundhogs can climb up to 3 feet. So between the garden bed and those new uh, little posts, they can't get through. They were able to get through the ones I got from Lowe's. I am returning those. And behind, in the back of the garden, let me walk this way, I am doing, which I have more, but they're in the garage right now, some T-post and some chicken wire that is going to go all the way around the forsythia just to kind of stop things coming into the forsythia, because I have bunnies, I have groundhogs, lots of things. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. Lots of things that come through the forsythia. So I figure we'll T-post it and we will add this chicken wire. And I will also add, like I said, those things that you knock into the ground uh, all the way around the garden, just so that I can make sure that this is not able to get in. But you can see that I hid everything under all kinds of things. And so far, I've had the fence for a week now, and nothing has come in and eaten anything, and all of the things that are covered are now, like, they're a little safe, which I really like. I do have all the kind of weird stuff everywhere because, like I said, I'm going away and I just want to protect my garden. All right, let me go ahead. Oh, and these are the posts that you put into the fence, and this whole section down here is in the ground. All right, let me open this up and show you what we're doing today. So in my massive new gorilla cart that I got for my birthday, look at this gorgeous girl. I'm going to open these boxes. They're extremely heavy. Now, I thought it was a great deal when I found these on Amazon. I was concerned, so that's why I kept the ones from Lowe's. But the ones from Lowe's would have been an extreme investment, and these have already been an extreme investment. The good thing is that when you have a summer birthday, you can say, I would like a gift card, or can someone buy me a panel for my birthday? Because each panel is about $50. The gates are $60, so they're not cheap. I Yeah, they're not cheap. So it's quite an investment. But when it's your garden and you spend a lot of time in your garden and it's something you love to do and it is your hobby that you do, I think it's worth it. If it's going to make you happy, it's definitely worth it. Okay. Also, yes, it makes you happy. Yes, it's worth it. But that being said, I did save for it. I did request some for Christmas. I did have lots of gift cards. Like, I got gift cards to Lowe's for Christmas for my birthday. I got birthday money. I got, all the things. So, this isn't, that being said, happiness does, is good, but it does cost. So you do have to make sure that you make the plan for it. So this cool thing, there's a set of 25. You get gloves because these are kind of sharp. So the ones that I got from Lowe's, they're very smooth, but this right here, the top of it, is very sharp. So they always recommend to wear gloves, and I do too. It's so important. Let me show you the stuff. I just want to wear gloves because I injured myself, like, for real. And I'm not trying to do that again with the first set. Okay. Okay. So what's cool is that these comes with cutters, with gloves, it comes with a lot of stuff. And it comes with a set of 25 for 40, almost $50. Comes with zip ties, so you can zip tie them together. But better than zip ties, these connect them together. And I'll show you that. Let me open. They're really heavy. I got 2 packs of 25, so that's 50, because all I really wanted to do, because I don't have time to, put it all the way around the fence. Like, I'm going to do that when I get home from my little vacation to see my mom. I just want to make sure that my beds have this taller fence. The ones from Lowe's, I believe, are 13 inches high. These are 17, which is excellent. They're 13 inches across, 17 inches high. The ones at Lowe's, I believe, are 17 inches wide, 13 inches. There it is. So these are 17 inches long, which is great because it's going to add some height, and it's also going to allow me to dig this in further into the garden, just in case, the groundhog wants to dig a little bit further. But I read online that as long as you have 6 inches down into the soil, they're not going to penetrate, hopefully, right? They can do it just about anything. So that could also be a lie. Either way, these are 17 inches long, but 13 inches wide. The ones at Lowe's were 17 inches, just the complete opposite. So it did cover more width, but not enough depth. And I needed height on my beds. So you can see it just tells you what to do. You hammer them down, and then the little quick connects that I was talking about holds them together. And I'll show you when I put them on the bed. But I'm really excited. Everything's in and beautiful. And, zip ties are excellent. All right, let's go put these on the bed. I'm stuck. Oy, there we go. I kind of ended off at this artichoke for several reasons. The artichoke is enormous, and I was struggling with how I was going to put these edges on, but it'll be okay. There we go. Not too bad. The cages that you see around all of my peppers here, I got from Gardener Supply. These are the pepper and eggplant cages, I believe. They're wonderful. They're super sturdy. They also have tomato ones. I'm just going to break off anything that's looks bad or broken. My artichoke looks beautiful. I'm hoping I get some blooms this year because I would really love it. Like, that's the reason why I grew it, to be honest. Okay, so that being said, I have to attach them all right there. Let me put you closer so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so you can see here, I got to get rid of this allium. Let me just break it down so you can see. So you can see here that I did this. This is adding some height to the bed, and I'm going to connect it really quickly. Let me show you what the quick connect looks like. You can see here that it has this like little shape. So each little one is supposed to like attach to the side. Super simple, kind of foolproof. Put one side in first, and then you put the other side in. Yippee, wrong side. There we go. Boom. And now they're connected and they're one. And I'm going to do that for all of them. So this is now super sturdy. It's within the bed. It's going to be amazing. I'm just trying to move my watering system so that I don't poke it. And just like that. There we go. Now it's connected. You see that? I'm going to add one more here. Okay, guys, so this last one, you can see it's going to be overlapped quite a bit. And that's okay. I just want to make sure that that my garden is being protected at all costs. So the overlapping doesn't bother me at all. I'm just going to find a different place to connect it, not at the end. Please be careful. This is sharp. Some of the edging here is sharp. This is not as, it's from Amazon, so it's not as nice as the Lowe's ones. The Lowe's ones are extremely smooth. This one is not. Now, you're looking and you're going, oh my God, your plants, your poor flowers. You're right. They look like they're going to suffer, but I will tell you what's going to happen now. They're going to start to peek through, kind of like these. These over here were all suffering like this, and they just started to come out by themselves, and you can guide them if you want. I broke a lot of them, but they are resilient, and they will keep growing. But just for show, I will go ahead and show you what you could do if you want. Just guide them out, and now they don't look as trifling. And just, I broke a flower, whatever. That's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the corners. just like that. And now, like, when I tell you this is so strong, they're not going to be able to pull it down. Where the other ones, because they didn't come with these awesome connectors, they were able to pull them down. So this bed is complete. We will now be completing this bed. So this is also a really cool trellis I got from Gardener Supply. You can use it like in this L shape, which is what I did last year. Or no, I'm sorry, I use it straight ahead like this. This year, I'm just using it to protect my plants because they are being gobbled up. Once I get all the fences in, all of the fences around the back of the garden, the ones that I'm digging into the ground, once those are all in, I won't do all of this hullabaloo unless I'm going to be out of town for some time. I don't want, anything to have the advantage of me not being home and never stopping them. Because anytime I see a rabbit or a groundhog or a deer or something like that, I come out and I go, hey, 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 and they run away. So, but when you're gone on a vacation, you can't do that. Now, again, this is also an investment. 25 of these are almost $50. Uh, I spend a lot of time and energy on my garden, a lot of hours. You guys have seen it all winter, you know, um, all these things that we do to have a creature eat it, even though it's natural. It's hurtful. It's sad. It's depressing. It's all the things. So for me, I'm willing to invest in my garden because I've already invested in my garden. I've already spent the dedicated hours growing everything and watering and all of the fertilizing and everything. So, yes, it is an investment, but now I'm going to have this for ever or as long until it rots. And it being, covered, powder coated steel, I believe it is. It should last me a good amount of time. And again, these are actually made. And I know that they've actually stopped coming in because I don't know if you guys remember, but they were eating this guy down. This particular plant was eaten to shreds. And look at it. This marigold is amazing. I'm kind of confused because I grew all French marigolds and this one's very leggy and long. I don't know why. In comparison to like the other ones, I don't know. They're all supposed to be petite marigolds, the French ones. And again, this last one is overlapped. I will go ahead and, connect them all a little bit later. And let's continue to the back gardens or the back beds. I will tell you, marigolds are beautiful, but they smell. I definitely don't like the smell of marigolds. Do you guys like the smell of marigolds? I love this one. I will be collecting seeds from all of my marigolds this year because I will definitely be doing this again. I love the brightness. I can see it from the window and it makes me happy. My cucamelon is beautiful. There we go. Alrighty, so all of the fencing is up. They've all been clipped in. Everything is looking great. Let me just show you a few of the things that I did. I really like this berry tent that I put up. Everything is looking really good. I have to fix this. I obviously put the wrong attachment on the one side. I think that's supposed to be in the middle. Uh, anyway, I have to fix that, but not today. But I'm really happy with the state of the garden and that I have lots of things protected. My berries are now protected. I do not like that cage, the look of it. I love the cage. I love the size of it. I actually don't mind the look. I think it's the color. I don't know if I should have done black. I really don't know, but I'm happy with that. I also, you can see that I covered uh, my sweet potatoes. I was just concerned that they were going to be eaten. And yeah, I mean, I am really happy with all of the protection that I have done to this garden. I think it looks really good. I really like these sweet little cages, and there's a lot more that came from because they're all going to go along the bottom here. So it looks great. I'm happy and pleased with all of the work that I've put in so far this summer, and I think it looks great. Let me know what you guys think. I will obviously link all of these items below. So yeah, so that is it for this video. All about garden protection. Um, I'm happy with it because I have loved and lost. That's what I like to call it. I have loved and lost. I loved these fruits and veggies and lost because I did not protect them. But now that I have made this investment, I have a great feeling that this is not going to happen again. Or it might. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please like it. If you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you. And remember, if you didn't get it done today, there is always tomorrow. Thanks for watching.